Thank you for joining us. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us your role?
Yeah, hi, I'm Jan Klose, the creative director of Lords of the Fallen, being produced by Deck 13 Interactive, where I'm the studio lead and cooperation with CA Games.
Excellent. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Lords of the Fallen, because it's quite a new title?
Yeah, it's an action RPG, fantasy RPG, and it's quite focused on combat and one-on-one combat, one-on-two combat. So it's a tactical game. It's a lot about timing. It's a lot about finding the right weapon for the right enemy, and it's got a pretty strong backstory with our hero Harkin being a very, very bad guy, committed lots of sins in the past, and now they took him out of prison to fight once more against a new enemy, and turns out that his being so bad and so cruel helps people maybe overcome this. But in the end, it's up to the player. I mean, how he does this, and especially if he want to do it in a more positive way or really in a cruel, bad way. That's really up to him, and he can shape the fate of the game world in, well, quite a bit.
Okay. So he literally carries his sins on his face, doesn't he?
Yes, he's got this tattooed on his face. So normally in this society, in the game, people have maybe one or two sins tattooed on their face, and his face is covered with these tattoos showing his sins. So he's really done some bad things before, and now it's up to the player to see how this will continue.
So is he actually a bad guy, or is he a good guy who's done bad things?
Well, he's not like this rogue with a heart of gold, so he's really someone with a cruel past. But it's still, I mean, a matter of definition of what he did. He's not like someone just enjoying killing or something. And it's really up to the player to fill this role and really give it some more background to say, okay, this is more how I feel this character should behave. And you can do that. There's dialogue. You can pick the choices you wanna make, and also you can really be more helpful to people. You can be more cruel, abuse them, whatever. And so, yeah, if he's a bad guy or not depends on what you do, actually.
Okay, so walk us through some typical gameplay in the game.
Yeah, sometimes you meet maybe one enemy you meet at some corridor or in some open space, and you've never seen him before, so you should approach with caution, like see, okay, what's he up to and what weapon can I use best, or should I sneak up on him? And then you see how the enemy behaves and attacks you. Maybe you die. That's not too bad, because then you know, hopefully, what you did wrong, and you say, okay, maybe I'll do it this way next time, and then probably you'll succeed with your new tactic. And so dying is not really something bad in this game, but it should help you learn and find the right tactics to do your thing. So that's a typical thing, but also we got strong, huge bosses in the game, and you'll need totally different tactics for them. They're in kind of arenas, and you need to find out how they behave. And again, it's not so much about randomness, it's really about skill, like trying to find out the weak spots and trying to find out what's best for you. And you can use different ways of defeating them. So it's not like finding out the perfect pattern that we predefined, but it's more about your playing style. So if you say, okay, I'm more the sneaky guy, I want to stay in the shadows, want to attack from behind, you can do that. You can find the weapons, the gear to do that, maybe the spells. Or you say, I'm more the warrior, I take my stand and I'll deal damage and I can take damage. You can do this as well. So it really depends on how you want to play, and this is the way how you defeat the enemies.
So I've just played it for a little while, and I died quite a bit, purely for research purposes. I noticed that when I died and when I got back to where I'd been killed, there was something I could collect.
Yes, you can collect your experience points there if you're fast enough, because they will kind of deplete over time. So you can take the risk and say, okay, I'll go there quickly, I want to regain my experience points. Or what you can also do, you can go to safe spots, and there you can kind of bank your XP, so they stay there and they're safe there. So if you get killed, then you can just go back there and you still have your points, your attribute points to spend. However, you will not get so much bonus if you do that. So it's again a matter of, are you more the risky kind of player, or are you more careful and like protect your belongings? So that's up to you.
Okay. Talking of belongings, what sort of weapons are there in the game?
Well, there's a vast amount of different weapons. We have more than 10 weapon styles that are totally different in terms of animation, timings, and damage you do, and so on. And we have more than 100 weapons you can pick up in the game. So it's really, again, about what you fancy most as a player. Is it something very fast, very, very quick? If you have light weapons like gear, then you're really like very speedy, very quick in the game. And if you have more like heavy weapons, you can do more damage, but it takes more time. So sometimes you need really perfect timing to deliver a strike. But then you can kill enemies with maybe just one strike. So we got swords, we got axes, staffs, hammers. So there's really a lot of different things. Claws that you can wear fingernail extensions, but dangerous ones. And so there's really something in for everybody, I think.
Okay, and you can also use the environment. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so sometimes you'll find spots that are have some indication of that you could use it, and you'll probably not figure out the first time, but then when you see what you can do with it, then there are, for example, maybe holes in the ground where there's just some planks over them, and when you have a very heavy enemy, you can maybe lure him towards you and make him step over the planks, and he might fall down and die. So you can use that every now and then, but they're not so obvious, so you really need to look out for them and take a look at what's happening. Basically, you're always rewarded if you take a look at the environment and if you take a look at what might be there for you. There's a lot of treasure hidden, a lot of secrets there, audio notes telling you more about the story. So yeah, there's a lot of things to find if you just don't take the straight way.
Tell us a little bit more about the audio notes. How does that work in the game?
Well, we want to tell the story in the way that you're not like spammed with cutscenes, but it's really you going through the game and doing everything at your own pace. And also, if you're interested in the story, you'll find a lot of things telling you the story. It's these audio notes that you can pick up that tell you the background of this world. They'll tell you from different perspectives, from different angles. So you really need to connect the dots yourself and maybe even pick a side when you read them. So it's not so clear like these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. But it's up to you to find that out. Also, the storytelling via the environment, so you enter a room and you take a look around, you see what maybe happened there was a fight or there was someone conducting experiments or whatever, and you can then find out the story by just looking around, and of course by talking to people. You can just fetch quests from them or items or help them, or you can get background information by picking some lines in the choices that tell you more about why they are there and also why you are there actually.
So how big is the game?
It's a little hard to say because different people take really totally different amounts of time to go through it. But we say if someone of the development team goes through the game as it's intended, we take maybe about 15 hours to do so. And this is without doing lots of the side quests or picking up items. So we think you're way beyond that if you really try to figure out what's in the game. If you really go for exploration, there's way more in there for you.
Okay. And what was probably the biggest single challenge you guys faced in developing this game?
The biggest challenge was throwing the right things overboard, actually, because there were so many ideas at the beginning, and we really tried to focus on really get the thing we wanted and really make it all revolve around one thing without making it simple and boring. And this is like really the combat, the dual style of the fighting, and still like weave all this lore and this fantasy world into that. That was, I think, the biggest challenge, to really see, okay, we need to let go of this and of that to just have the cool core of the game ready.
Okay. And when is the game out and on what formats?
It's out this fall, and it's for PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Thank you very much for your time today.
You're most welcome.
Thanks for watching. Why not subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the link on the screen now?